Well, hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for hanging out with me again today. And today, well, we're kind of doing the end of year review, the things that happened on the channel in 2025 and what I'm looking forward to in 2026. So there is an impressive list of stuff that I've been able to get through this year. In this list, there's 25 different cars, builds, rebuilds that we've got to do this year, and I know I'm missing a few on here. So there were some things I didn't put on the list, you know, stuff like the little teeny tiny hot shot and some of the other little micro stings on here. Most of these on here are like the 12 scale and bigger cars and trucks that we've done. So I'm not going to ramble on too much about it, but we're just going to jump into kind of the just list top down of things looking back on 2025. I will try to put some pictures, you know, maybe up here or up here as we go through them. Hopefully I still have pictures of all these. If not, sorry, you know, I'm just not gonna, I can't dig around, but so long looking through all the archives. But first up was the Tamiya CC02 on the D90 chassis. Everybody seemed to like that. I liked it. I wanted to do something different with the body. I didn't want to go the traditional, you know, green or red or blue, and I really did not like the powder blue box art look. So that solid burgundy I found online of a real one-to-one, and I really like that. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed kind of a different look at, you know, a D90 Land Rover. Then we just did the Tamiya Black Edition Hopper, you know, sexy car. And that shiny TS14 black just looks amazing. And the colors and decals that they went with on that looked really awesome. And I love those like neon yellowy wheels on there. For that one, we did the Mr. Bean MB01 Mini. And again, you guys seem to like that one a lot. I'm still in the midst of adding some more details to it. I've got an interior roughed out, and I need to make some more accessories for it. Just trying to figure out what materials and, you know, what's going to look good in there has been a challenge. I did get the micro line tape from Kyosho to try to darken in some of the door jambs. If it doesn't work, then I'll probably just use black Sharpie. But I did want to try the Kyosho fine line tape. I've never used it before, and working on that. Got a ready to run Gorgon Grom from Arma. That thing is super fun, and you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, it should have been brushless." They're going to come out with a brushless edition, and they're not. They've already said they're not going to do a brushless edition, and I don't think it would be that much fun brushless. Sure, going out there and trying to see how fast you can go with it seems fun, but in reality, running it around a lumpy, bumpy yard, you're going to spend more time walking around kicking it back over on its tires than anything. So I think the way they set it up was perfect. I absolutely adore it. It jumps really well and drives really well. And my personal favorite for the year of ready-to-run trucks and just all-round fun to drive and looks cool truck, the Arma Quake. That thing is a ton of fun. On 2S, it is an absolute fun truck, and it just romps and goes and just rips and jumps great. On 3S, it is absolutely bonkers. Backflips and big jumps and all that stuff, and it's tough as nails, and it looks super cool too. So for me, that is kind of the, at least the ready to run RC of the year for me. I've seen a lot of other cool ones, but for, you know, I definitely haven't experienced all of them. And for me, that one was just super fun. Then we had the DRC, the 8618, which is probably the most spastic little ready to run Amazon type truck you can buy. Out of the box, it came way fast enough. And then you can actually enable the full insane mode and really go fast with it. I think it's almost 50 miles an hour out of the box on the insane mode. And it's just, you know, on pavement, again, it's nice. You can go really fast with it. It's really stable. But in grass and dirt and stuff like that, it just is so small that it gets thrown around so much. But it is cool that they kind of made it to where you can run it, you know, regular mode or insane mode. I've just left mine in regular mode. It's more than fun enough for me. Glee's Fun sent over the G11 Pro drone. That one is really nice. Now, the only hang up to that is it is a drone you need to register because it is over the 249 weight limit. but it flies super, super nice and takes really great video. And I realized the other day I never did put out the video for kind of the leaves changing colors. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, I can throw it together real quick and get it out for you guys just to put it out there. It just honestly, by the time I got done and got the last video shot, I was so focused on getting ready for Thanksgiving and getting leaves blown off of everything because I was going out there 2 or 3 days a week blowing leaves. So I kind of just forgot to get it edited and put up. I bought the little Amazon military Jeep, and that was more for decorative use. I enjoyed weathering it up, putting in the driver figure, and it was fun to drive. You know, it's a very scale little truck. You're not going to rock crawl with it. You're not going to do much anything other than just go out there and just watch it drive around, which it is fun to watch drive around. But that was more of just a weathering challenge and, you know, enjoy it thing. The June Watanabe Hornet, got one of those, got that built, and that is sitting over there looking absolutely hilarious. It is definitely a love it or leave it design. The pink wheels, the purple chassis, the polka dots all over it. You know, it's, you know, a Dalmatian with lipstick on, but it's kind of one of those things. It's so awful, it's awesome. So I love it. I enjoy it. I know some people are like, you know, I bought it to collect it, or, you know, I'm not going to buy it. I think it's terrible, but I enjoyed it, and it's funny to look at. I love it. And then kind of this one is, these two are my favorite that I did this, well, 2 of the 3, but this one is the Sledgehammer rebuild. So it's an all original chassis, then it has a reproduction body on there, and at the time I could not find the roll bars and lights for it, so these are actually Midnight Pumpkin roll bars with lights. I was going to put on the Clodbuster ones, but the Clodbuster ones I actually needed for the other one, and I had these that I'm not using for anything, so I was like, good enough. I do have the other one. I have the white chassis one, and that's sitting over in the box to get done, and that actually has the Traxxas 1812 chrome kit for it, so it has the roll bars, it has the lights, it has the front bumper, it has the rear bumper, all that stuff. So that one will get done completely box art. This is the alternative magazine ad paint job that I did, and I absolutely love this thing. More of a shelf queen, but this one I will actually take out and drive. The other one is not going to. Once that one gets done, it's just going to be the way it is. Then we did the Honda City Turbo. That thing looks awesome. I have a second one on order. Whenever that gets here, I have no idea. And that one is going to get turned into the little penny racer. And I need to get back in touch with the guy that offered to 3D print the penny for me. Sorry, it's just one of those things. Truck wasn't here, I wasn't ready to do it, and it just kind of slipped my mind with everything else going on. But I will get back in touch with you if you're willing to help out with that. If not, I understand. You know, things happen, and you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry. I will reach back out to you when I'm ready to kind of work on that. The thing's not supposed to be here until January, February, something. So still got plenty of time for that. We had the little Juicy WB12, I think it's WB12 Pro or something like that. Little 12 scale buggy, and it is a really, really tough and fun buggy. They made that one to be as nutty as it could be and still be controllable and still do well outside. It is a terror on the track. I actually love that little thing. And then we also had the Amarillo Relarlo AMX12 that we did the speed run between Building Velocity and Right Place. They had to run to 100, and sorry guys, I wish I'd done more for that, but it just kind of, you know, I got into it and kind of ran into issues with overgearing for the motor, and then it just kind of fell off and got pushed back for other things, and then I just never picked it up again. But we did end up getting 65 miles an hour out of that, which is impressive for a little buggy that is basically, you know, all off the shelf stuff except for the motor and ESC. Everything, all the internals were stock and everything, and that thing was screaming out there. Speaking of speed runs, we also did the Poor Boys RC, the Grasshopper speed run this year, and put in a respectable 54 on that. It just those things are just not meant to go that fast. They are just, after about 35 miles an hour, they become very cantankerous and hateful if everything is not aligned properly. But that was fun. I'm really curious to see what Phil's going to come up with next year. I know he tries to do it, inexpensively and with readily available kits. So he wants to make sure that, everybody has a chance to join in, and he doesn't want to use, a $500 kit or a kit that's, hard to find in a lot of places, and only, the collectors that already have them are going to be able to, do it. So I get it. It's hard to make it for everybody, but he does a really good job with the speed runs. I appreciate all the hard work, both, Phil and Paul and Mike, for all their efforts they put into the speed run stuff this year. We also built the Tamiya Bigwig, another cool one to add to the collection, a very unique looking buggy. Again, it's kind of one of those take it or leave it body styles. I love it. I just, kind of just like the uniqueness of it, and the little engine in the back and everything like that just makes it a little bit cooler and special than a lot of the other ones. We did the custom globe liner build this year, which kind of rolled over from stuff from last year, but we actually got to the build this year and got it built. So that was all custom paintwork, custom idea with the ADHD trucking. Had the RC four-wheel drive, white steel wheels on it, made the custom log trailers for it and everything. So that was really fun, and again, kind of got to play around with the weathering and aging of everything and making it, my own flair, doing the cool truck with the mismatched doors and, custom graphics and stuff on it. Plus, just looks like an old beat up globe liner, which is what a lot of them look like. Got the DT04 this year, the next gen or whatever it's called, and trying to turn that into a little mini BBX, or the dollar store BBX. And I liked it a whole lot better once the body panels are painted, and the BBX wheels and tires look really good on there. They do not help the performance at all. If anything, it hinders that one, but it looks cool with them on there, and I'll take the cool factor over the performance of that one. Performance wise, we got the Tamiya Hornet Evo, and that is a really great running buggy. Looks fantastic, and I like doing that in that dark gunmetal color. That was I wanted it to look-ish original, but I didn't want to do black. I didn't want to do just plain black. And my original Hornet, I already did the Lame Flake, or Lamar Flake, Lame Flake, sparkles in it. So it kind of has that bass boat looking finish with the solid black behind it. So it looks cool. From a distance, it looks stock, and then when you get up on there, you see all the sparkles and reflective in it. So neither one of my Hornets are box art, but look close enough. We also did the FMS F100 truck. That was the ready-to-run little two-wheel drive basher, which is very Stampede-ish, I would say, in design and everything. But that was a really cool one, and I really enjoyed that one. It's fun. May end up putting a brushless system in there. I do have a motor and an ESC I can put in there, so maybe that's a 2026 project, is put some brushless power to that and get that out and have some fun. I will order a new body set for it before I do that, because I don't want to trash that one and not have a new one on hand to replace it with. And then kind of my other favorite build this year, or rebuild, is the Super Blackfoot. So if you guys have been following the channel for a long time, this is my original hobby grade RC that I got, and I stupidly sold it when I was younger. It was pretty clapped out. It had everything on it was loose, jiggly, worn out, and needed to be updated, replaced, or repaired. So I didn't really miss out on much, but I really missed not having that in the collection. That was kind of, everybody's first has a sentimental value, and this one definitely did. So I was able to get a Super Blackfoot kit, put a Riri body on it, and MCI decals, new wheels, new tires. But this one is set up with an ESC, but it also has the mechanical speed controller in there. So if you open it up, it looks like it's all original, but it actually has modern running gear in it. And it's just a fun one to have in the collection. These two I both let go in earlier years, and had to get them back. So these are probably my top two The glow briner is right behind it, so we're going to call these number 1 and the glow briner number 2 for my top ones this year. And let me change out the battery in my camera because it's going to die. As far as custom builds, we also did the Rad Bull this year, which was a parts bin build of a bunch of the Mad Bull parts that I had here. And I decided instead of, just changing the color and putting Mad Bull decals on there, I just really went wild with the paint job and just made up my own cut stickers off of the Cricut and cut out a bunch of little vinyl stickers and turned that into the Rad Bull. I think it turned out pretty cool. It is not a super awesome performer, but again, it was a parts bin build, so it was still fun. The comical grasshopper, and that is just the comical series. I always thought, those look cool, and then you don't appreciate them until you see them in person. Once you see them in person, you're like, oh, that is freaking awesome. They did such a cool job of shrinking and smushing those little platforms down into what they are, still retaining the perfect looks of the original. You got the frog, the grasshopper, the hornet, the Avante. I have the hornet and the grasshopper. I have the hotshot to build, and I do need to get the frog. The Avante I really can't find anywhere that's reasonably priced. But it is what it is. I still would like to get the frog, but we'll get that eventually. But yeah, those are super fun. They're hilarious to drive. They're just like a Wild Willie or like a Lunchbox. They don't perform super well, but they do drive really fun and wheelies for days, which is what they're built for. And, just a smile maker for sure. The Tamiya Top Force, exact opposite of the comical grasshopper. That is a lean, mean, track-eating machine. A really, really nice one to build up. Everything just fits. The finish of everything is really nice. And it looks really, really cool. And I did that one completely off box art. Used MCI, made some custom color changes to the old version of the decals, and then painted it like a metallic purple. So it's got my own flair. I really like it. The green looks cool, but just that big metallic green wedge, I don't know, it just didn't ever sit right with me. There's just something off about it. It looks like a doorstop. With the purple, it's not as bold and in your face, and I think I like it a little bit more like that. But either way, it's a really, really great buggy. If you don't have the money for a Top Force, go out and get yourself a Manta Ray. It drives just as well. It's like the budget Top Force, and man, those things are awesome. We also built the Kong Head this year. Another fun truck to drive around. They look big, clunky, heavy, awkward, but they actually drive very, very well. They're very well planted. They're stable. They're agile. They zip and turn much, much better than you would expect. And again, they're definitely smile maker kits. And then a Super Astute, the best two-wheel drive Tamiya buggy that I have. I absolutely adore that thing. It is a great, great running buggy. I'd kind of like to get another one just to be able to just turn it into a track beater, but there's only so much space and funds. So right now we just take that one out occasionally. So that pretty much wraps up the major ones I could think of. There was a whole lot of other stuff in there. Whether it was, fixing this, upgrading this, we had I want to say the Vortex I got this year as well, but I didn't see the video on it, so I can't remember. Al also gave me the Creighton 4S this year, and like I said, we added a few more. I've got the TXT1 that I got from Buyee that I need to do a rebuild on. I got the Cloudbuster from Buyee I got to do a rebuild on. There's probably just a few things in the closet I forgot about. Steve gave me the Hummer. I still need to work out some bugs on that and see if I can fix a few minor things. Nothing big. The MRC Thunder King, I really need to get that out for a drive. For some reason, I just don't ever think of it when I have the time, Steve. I'm sorry. I absolutely adore the truck. It's just I never think to be like, hey, let me take the big monster guy out. I also have the Lunchbox that I started to build the A-Team van out of. It's like 95% there. It's just missing two key ingredients that I don't have. Oh yeah, there was a couple minis. So I got the what the hell is that? I got the Red Cat Ascent 18 Scout. I just got that. Oh, the RC four wheel drive. I think that was this year. That giant pile. I probably didn't write that on the list just because I hate it. But yeah, there's a ton of stuff. But I do want to quickly shout out the channel members. You guys are awesome. You guys are always in the comments. You guys are always supporting the channel, whether it's channel donations of cars and parts and bits and pieces, or, you know, the mystery boxes, or kits, stuff like that, or buy me a coffee, or channel memberships on YouTube. I greatly appreciate all of it. And I greatly appreciate everybody else that just watches, you know, especially watching, commenting, liking, all that stuff. All that stuff helps the channel, helps boost the channel, helps keep everything. It keeps the channel, you know, being seen by others so more people can show up. And again, this is not a popularity contest. I'm not trying to be the biggest RC YouTuber out there, but it definitely keeps me going. You guys' comments keep me going. You know, this can be a very frustrating thing to do. You know, it sounds like all glitz and glamour. You know, oh, he gets free RC cars and free batteries and all this stuff. And what are you complaining about? Well, there's also a lot of work and time spent away from doing other things to make these videos, to talk to the vendors, to work out timelines, to meet deadlines. You know, you're always fighting, whether it's personal schedule, business schedule, weather schedule. You're always, you know, something is always there trying to, you know, shut the door in your face, and you're trying to get through and get stuff done. So you guys' comments in the comments section, especially when, you know, I put a lot of time and effort into a rebuild or a build or making something custom, and you guys flood the comments with all the kind words and everything, you know, that's the boost that keeps me going. And honestly, everybody else on YouTube, you know, Phil and Mark, Brian, and, you know, everybody else that, you know, is grinding away, putting out videos all the time, putting in the work, and, you know, our rewards is seeing those comments come in. So I greatly appreciate that. And, you know, there are the few and that go above and beyond, that help out the channel when they can, financially, whether it's, you know, like I said, gifts, mystery boxes, or the buy me a coffees. I greatly appreciate it. So I just wanted to shout out all those guys, plus, you know, all you guys that are watching. You know, you guys have kept me going through 2025. I hope you guys are going to stick around for 2026. I was really hoping to hit that 8,000 mark at the end of the year, you know, just as a milestone. We're almost there. I think we're at like 7,800 almost, and that's close enough. We'll consider that a win and move on. But I also want to thank the sponsors of the channel, the vendors that have helped out the channel this year. And I'm just going to run through them real quick. So Hobby King, they've helped supply the channel with a few different Turnigy batteries. Radio Link, the cool 8-bank charger that I need to finish the review on. You guys saw kind of the upfront features and teaser one of that. Plus, they gave me the cool RC8X radio that I'm basically running all my new stuff on. CNHL, China Hobby Line, they have given me all the batteries for the Speedruns, whether it was the Run to 100 or the Hopper Challenge. They've supplied all the batteries for that. Plus, I think at the very beginning of the year, they also gave me some batteries for bashing, so they've been a big help. Secure is a new one. They have the crawler, ESC, and motor combos that I put in the big 10 scale, and also the Red Cat Ascent 18 Scout. You guys will be seeing that video very soon, so kind of spoiler alert on that. Noah's Big. They have been a big channel supporter this year, and I absolutely love their products. You guys are going to see another review very soon of one of their things. Another Helping Hand sends them. So they have a wide variety of very big and complex helping hand systems, all the way down to some very small, simple ones that will fit everybody's budgets and make everybody's life a lot easier. I don't get paid by them. They just send me the products to take a look at. any of the links I put in there are just regular Amazon affiliate links, and those things don't pay anything. So don't think I'm getting rich by sponsoring, promoting these guys. I just think that their tools are absolutely awesome, and I don't think you guys can go wrong by getting one, if that's something you're looking for. Vogma sent over the cool little blower, and I actually used this in this video. You guys didn't see it, but I thought my battery was going dead in the camera, but the camera was actually overheating. So I popped the battery out, swapped batteries, and then just put this on very low and just blew it on the inside of the camera, and now we're back up and running. So, you know, reason 638 to have one of these around. That thing sits on my bench all the time. I use it for all kinds of stuff. Super, super handy. And take it out bashing when I go over to Al's so we can blow off cars before I load them back up to get in the truck. DRC, they last couple years they've sent over at least one or two cars to check out. Usually little mini bashers, you know, the Amazon little bashers, and I really like their stuff. I've never had any problems with the DRC stuff. They work very well, very well. Banggood reached out this year, sent me a little micro crawler Jeep, and that was fun. Definitely a little fun desk crawler, kind of the SCX 30 before there was an SCX 30. I think the SCX 30 is a little bit nicer, but obviously a little bit more expensive too. Glee's fun, like I said earlier, they sent over the G11 Pro drone, and that was really, really awesome. Had a great experience with that as well. The Juicy WB12, little 12 scale thing, we talked about that earlier. That thing's really fun. RTR Hobbies, we actually did a little micro drifter, I think way back in the springtime. Kind of look like a little unicorn, but they have, I don't know, 7 or 8, 10 different body styles you can get. Those are really fun. They definitely work really well, and surprisingly well. You put the rubber tires on there, that is a quick little car that's pretty agile. I was really surprised on how much of a difference it goes from, you know, just sliding it around to putting those rubber tires on, and that thing was a little rocket. And then lastly, Hardell, they supplied the little rechargeable rotary tool. Again, I use that thing all the time here at the bench, especially doing custom work or repair work or anything like that. That thing is really nice. And they also sent over a little tiny pin engraver. I've used that a few times for various different reasons as well. So that is 2025 in a very, very big, long, heavy-winded nutshell. 2026, I hope to be even a better year. I hope to get out some more videos. I hope to get in some more RCs. Hope to get through a lot of the backlog that I have here, and share it all with you guys. So guys, I'm not going to ramble on anymore. Wishing everybody out there a very happy new year. I wish everybody well. Hopefully 2026 brings a lot of great stuff to a lot of people. And hopefully everybody's channels continue to grow. Everybody continues to share more and more fun things. Everybody continues to learn from one another. I know I've learned a lot from a lot of guys. Hopefully I have helped out a few of you guys along the way. At least, if anything, learn from my mistakes. I've definitely made a few of those this year. But anyway, guys, as always, everybody be happy, be healthy, be safe, and Happy New Year's to everybody. See you guys.